Hello everyone, Anshul here. During these crazy COVID-19 times, everyone is looking for something to fill their time, something that they can do. Whether you're a college student, a parent looking for something to do with their kids, or you're an adult looking for something fun to do, 3D printing is a great thing that can help fill your time, and you can learn a lot from it. 3D printing will allow you to learn manufacturing skills, design skills, and you'll be able to create some really cool stuff. An example of something I made were these headphones. I took a cheap pair of $100 headphones and I tore them apart and I redid almost everything. Inside there are quite a few 3D printed parts. These cups are 3D printed and they sound a lot better now and are much more premium. And actually the headphone stand that the headphones are sitting on was also 3D printed. In just a couple of hours you can have a fully functional prototype of what you're trying to make. There are also huge repositories online where you can download files and print things that other people have designed. 3D printing is very easy to learn, but sometimes it's a little bit intimidating when you're getting started. Today I'm going to be going over some entry-level 3D printers that actually provide really great value for your dollar and can often outperform 3D printers that cost 10 times as much. Okay, so there are three 3D printers that I'm going to be talking about that come at really affordable prices and will be great for any beginner. Now there are many different variants to these 3D printers, and whichever one you get will be very good for whatever 3D printing you want to do. I have links down in the description to make it easier for you guys to find these products, and I've also linked the best places to buy them, and kind of the best prices. So the first one is the Ender 3. Now this is one of my favorite 3D printers ever, and I actually have it sitting behind me. Now the Ender 3 comes at a very, very affordable price at $210. It's a little bit more expensive on Amazon, and there is a Pro version. The Pro version does offer some benefits and features. Now basically the benefit to the Ender 3 is the price and the quality. The prints that come off the Ender 3 are just incredible, and for the price it's really hard to beat. It does take maybe 2 hours to assemble, and it's not too difficult, but if you do need help with that, I'm definitely here to help. It has a build volume of 220 by 220 and 250 millimeters. That's basically the print volume. That's how big the biggest part you could print on the machine is. It's compatible with PLA, TPU, and ABS. These are all different materials that your 3D printer can print. PLA is the easiest and best material to print for beginners because it has no odor, it does not release any sort of toxic gas or anything. It's very safe to print. It is actually made out of a potato and cornstarch base, and it's very cheap at around only 20 bucks a roll on Amazon, and the roll will last you many, many, many weeks. The next printer is also from this company, Creality. This is the CR10 V2. The CR10 is actually a staple in 3D printing for hobbyists. And this printer, the original CR10, was actually created many years ago, and it's regarded as one of the best value 3D printers, and it's fairly large. It'll allow you to print very big parts. And the V2 has quite a few upgrades, which just make it easier for new people getting into 3D printing. The main difference between this and the Ender 3 is it does have an external power supply, nothing to worry about. Assembling it is a little bit easier, but it is much larger. Again, if you need help with that, I'm here to help. And then the volume. So before, the Ender 3 had 210 by 210 by 250. The CR10 V2 has 300 by 300 by 400. And that's massive. You have about 12 by 12 on the X and Y, and I think it's about 15 inches, maybe it's 16 inches on the Z, which is really, really nice. Lastly, we have the Anycubic i3 Mega. Now, the Anycubic is actually a great machine. It kind of sits in between the CR10 and Ender 3 in terms of price. It's a really good quality machine. And what's great about the Anycubic is how durable and rugged it is. It's quite compact, it has everything contained, but the machine is very sturdy and would be great for anyone new to 3D printing. The build dimensions are actually slightly smaller than the Ender 3 at 210 by 210 by 205 millimeters, but you really shouldn't ever worry about that because you'll never really be printing things much larger. But if you do plan on printing larger things, or if you are interested in printing bigger objects, the CR10 V2 is a great option, coming in at only around $499 from the Creality website and about $519 on Amazon. Again, links in the description. Now that you're ready to get into 3D printing, let's look over the actual machine, the different parts, and how they work. and also the process of printing an object. This here is the Ender 3. This is the printer that I recommend to most people. The parts that come off of it are amazing, and the price is even better. Let's start by looking at the bed. This build surface is a flexible sheet, which allows you to flex parts off the bed. This is much better than the old school way of using a hatchet to pry the part off, because oftentimes people would miss and they would cut themselves. This is much easier because once the print is done, you just pull the bed off and flex the bed. This here is the actual bed. This is your y-axis. This moves in the y direction. This here is the x-axis, the x carriage. Inside here, there is a hot end which reaches about 210 to 220 degrees Celsius when you're printing PLA material. It melts the plastic and then will come out the nozzle to create your object. Then we have the z-axis, right here. There are two motors, one on either side on some printers. In this case, there's only one motor. Basically what this does is raise the whole carriage up and down to give your part height. The 3D printer just plugs into your wall with a standard power cable that is bundled with your 3D printer. We also have a screen here with a dial, which allows you to control the different settings, like the different files that you want to print and control the temperature. This here is your extruder motor. This is what actually pushes your PLA or ABS filament into the nozzle. This here is your actual material. This is a roll of PLA filament, which can be purchased on Amazon for around $20. It's very affordable and is good for almost anything you want to print. This whole machine comes at a price of just $210 to $280 depending on the variant you get. There's the Ender 3 and the Ender 3 Pro, and depending on where you buy it, the prices are slightly different. Now this does require about an hour to an hour and a half of assembly, but it's very easy and it comes with great instructions. And if you want help, if you're in the Ventura County area, I'm here to help. Just send me an email or shoot me a message on Instagram. Links in the description. Once your printer is assembled and ready to go, plug in the power cord and flip on the on switch. Once you turn on the printer, it will begin to boot up, and you will soon see temperatures. One is for the bed and one is for the nozzle. We can then click into the menu, into Prepare, and scroll down to the Preheat PLA option. We will then select Preheat PLA. This will now heat the bed and the nozzle to the selected temperatures, 210 degrees for the nozzle and 60 degrees for the bed. This will take about 3 or 4 minutes. It can take longer on some printers, but the Ender 3 is very fast. When you first get your 3D printer, the first thing you're going to want to do is print something. So you're going to head to thingiverse.com. Now this, again, is a repository of tons and tons of parts that people have designed for you to download and 3D print. So let's say that you are interested in dragons. You want to print a dragon, or there's some sort of part that you want to make. Right here, there's a bottle opener and cap gun, which looks pretty cool. This is a phone stand with mechanical springs and grabs, and I don't know, but it looks very interesting. So in this case, I don't know, let's say that you want to 3D print a butterfly. You type in butterfly, and all the things that have butterfly in the title will come up. And you can see there are all sorts of cool things that people have designed. These actually have hinges, and they will move once you pull them off the 3D printer bed. Let's say that you are interested in a phone stand for your desk. Instead of spending $15, $20 on a phone stand on Amazon, you can just 3D print one. And it's only going to cost maybe 15 cents in PLA filament. So let's say that we like this stand right here. I can click download all files, and it'll give me a little zip file with all of the 3D printer files. Now this file is called an STL file. Now we can't just put this STL file on the 3D printer because it doesn't know what to do with it. So we actually have to put it through a software which will turn it into a language that the 3D printer can understand, called G-code. The software that we're going to use is called Cura. This is downloaded from the Ultimaker website, and I'll leave links down in the description so you can grab it. When you first download Cura, it's going to look something like this, and you're going to have an option for Add Non-Networked Printer. This is what we're going to do. Now, because we're using the Creality Ender 3, which again is what I recommend to everyone, we're going to scroll down to Creality 3D, and we're going to find the Ender 3, which is right here. We're going to select it and click Add. It's going to do a little bit of configuration and give you machine settings tab. Just click next, don't worry about any of that. This here is kind of what your print volume looks like. This is the 210 by 210 by 250 millimeters that you have to print. So now you can drag your object directly in. So here's our STL file of the stand, and I'm just going to drag it in right here. So now we can look at it. Everything looks really, really nice. And this is basically what it's going to look like once it's done on the 3D printer. Now over here you have some advanced settings that you can play with. I almost wouldn't worry about them when you're first getting started because they are more advanced. But if you just leave them the way they are, Cura configures everything for you and everything will work straight out of the gate. There are pre-created profiles and the standard quality 0.2 millimeters is great. So you're going to hit the slice button, and basically what this does is turn the model into different layers that the 3D printer will understand. The G-code will then tell the machine to move the different parts, the X, Y, and Z, to different parts, to different areas, different coordinates, and then lay the plastic in successive layers to create your object. So what we're going to do is we're going to save our file to our SD card. So save file, save to file. I'm going to scroll down here to my SD card. It's called USB drive, but this is my SD card, and we're going to name it. It already has the name CE3 Creality Ender 3 Stand Cell Hollow. I'm just going to call it phone stand ready to print. Save. And now we can take this SD card, put it inside our 3D printer, and get printing. Okay, so we're going to start by inserting our SD card. It takes a little bit of finagling. Then we're going to click into our menu and scroll down to Initialize TF card. Then we're going to go to Print from TF and find our file, CE3 phone stand. So now the bed and nozzle are going to finish heating up if it's not done. And I like to spray a little bit of hairspray to give a little bit of extra adhesion. This definitely helps the print stick and prevents failures. So now what the nozzle, actually what the whole machine is doing is laying down some filament on the side. This is called a purge line. And essentially the point of this is just to clear the nozzle out of any old filament, and then it will jump right into the print. Bringing the bed forward and pulling off the binder clips holding on the print surface. And this print surface is great again because you can just flex the parts off. They pop right off. No need for a putty knife. No need to pry the parts off. Part looks great. Okay, so the print finished. It only took about an hour and a half, and as we can see, it looks very, very nice. All the layers are bonded together very well, and the part is very, very strong. So I'd call it a success, and almost every print I do on the Ender 3 is a success, which is why I recommend it to everyone. I hope you guys learned a lot about 3D printing and are very interested in getting into 3D printing. Hopefully you guys will get a 3D printer of your own. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Again, there are links in the description for the different printers you can get. Again, Ender 3, best printer you can get for your money at around $200 to $300. There's the Ender 3 and the Ender 3 Pro. Again, links are in the description. My email is in the description, as well as my Instagram, so you can contact me if you need any help, if you need consulting, or if you want me to assemble your 3D printer if you're in the Ventura County, LA area. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you tune into the next video.